I tried to build a real app using this AI builder to see how far you can actually get. Stay here, because in this software review, I will walk you through what this AI app building platform really offers, how it performs in practice, and how it compares to other alternatives like Replit or Lovable. Let's dive in. Hey, it's good to have you here. If you haven't seen my videos yet, I am Aaron, the guy who helps you to find the best productivity apps so you don't have to spend time and money. As always, you can find the link to Softr in the comments and description. Also, check out our apps library on thebusinessdive.com, where you can find 80 plus productivity apps with our honest opinion on them. We personally tested all of them, including Softr, and spent days and weeks to find out the real pros and cons. So, Softr is an AI app builder designed for creating business apps and not just prototypes. Instead of generating code, it combines a built-in database, a visual interface builder, and an AI co-builder that helps you to set up the app structure. You only need to describe what you want, and Softr will create the pages, the databases, and the logic behind it. You can use Softr own database or connect external sources like Airtable or Google Sheets, then map the data to the interface using pre-built blocks. It also includes user authentication, role-based access, workflows, and integrations. You can use it for creating client portals, internal tools, and similar data-driven apps. Now, let's take a closer look on the key features. Before you even start building, Softr drops you into a clean dashboard where you can manage your apps and decide how you want to create a new one. On the left side, you can access the created apps, databases, workflows, and forms. For this review, I focus on the AI route, but it's worth mentioning that it doesn't lock you into one single approach. So you can just easily start from a template or build everything manually. I will use Softr to create a lightweight test management app to see how it really performs in practice. You just enter your prompt including your high-level ideas. For example, in the case of a task management app, what view options it should offer, whether it should include projects, or other similar information. After the prompt, Softr will guide you through the rest with many smart follow-up questions about things like user roles, authentication settings, navigation layout, and website theme. So it's way more than just building a user interface. It's about creating the database, the pages, the navigation, and the business logic all at the same time. When it comes to the databases, it will create you a Softr database, which will be your backend by default. What I appreciated during the creation process is that before it builds anything, Softr shows you exactly what you are getting. The pages, the features, who can access what, and how permissions should work for each user type. So there is no guesswork. Also, what really surprised me is that AI created this test management app within minutes. I could immediately preview the app, switch between user and admin views, and start interacting with it. The app I got was fully functional, with real data, permissions, and structure. That said, from the moment I hit publish, hosting, login page, forgot password, user roles, all logged in. If I want to know if the permissions and user groups are set up right, I don't have to scan through code I can't read. I can visually check within the Softr Studio and through the preview. In the next step, I will reveal my experience when it comes to editing and customizing this test management app with Softr. If you want to make changes, you can simply click on any block in the interface and tell the AI what you want to change. You can also attach an image or screenshot and show exactly what kind of update you have in mind. To me, it was like giving a feedback to a designer rather than manually adjusting the tool. If you prefer more control, Softr also includes a visual builder similar to the traditional no-code editor. By clicking on blocks, you can adjust layout, styling, visibility rules, and content. It includes things like showing or hiding elements based on user roles, changing how data is displayed, or refining the overall look and structure of the page. In case of complex solutions, the AI co-builder will automatically suggest and start building the solution using the vibe coding block. That being said, I appreciated how easy it is to switch between the AI editing and manual adjustments based on what I need in the moment. You can also go beyond individual blocks and edit entire pages, navigation, and themes, so changes aren't limited to small tweaks, but can affect the overall structure and feel of your app. Besides editing, it was great to see that I could use AI to troubleshoot issues if anything came up during the process. When something didn't work the way I expected, I could ask what was happening, why something wasn't showing, or how to fix it, and it would walk me through in a very clear way. Unlike many other alternatives, Softr doesn't store content directly on pages. Instead, it uses a database and turns that data into a working app interface. The database itself is visual and structured like a spreadsheet, but with relationships between tables, which makes it easier to understand even you are not a technical. It comes with its own built-in database, which is the simplest option if you are starting from scratch. You can also connect it with 14 plus data sources like Google Sheets or Airtable, but the native database is more integrated with the rest of the platform. Once your data is set up, everything else, pages, layouts, and permissions, builds on top of it. So the database isn't just a supporting layer. You can use it on its own to manage and structure data, similar to tools like Airtable, without building a full app around it. When it comes to the users and permissions, Software handles them very early in the process. Even during the AI setup, you are asked who the app is for, what the different users should be able to see or do. Based on that, Software establishes the user and access rules even before you create the app. And this matters more than you think. In most tools, setting up authentication, roles, and permissions is one of the most complex parts. Here, a lot of that is already structured for you from the beginning. Once the app is created, you can see and manage everything inside the user section. You can define different user groups like admin versus regular user to control what each group can access and adjust permissions at both the page and block level. For instance, you can show certain pages only to the logged in users, restrict specific data to individual users, or make parts of the interface visible only to admins. It also handles the basic out of the box, like login, sign up, and password reset pages, so you don't have to build those yourself. And fortunately, all of this is very visual. You don't need to think in terms of code or logic, as you can actually see who can access to what and adjust it directly in the interface. It also means that even non-technical teams can manage and update the app without relying on software developers. Another part of Software that stood out to me during my review is its workflows and built-in automations that helps you to connect your app, data, and external tools. Instead of relying on tools like Zapier or Make, Software includes its own workflow builder where you can automate actions based on events in your app or database. For example, you can trigger actions when a new record is created, a user sign up, a form is submitted, data is updated, and so on. From there, you can define what happens next, whether it's sending emails, updating records, or triggering actions in other tools. What's important to note here is that the workflows are directly connected to your app and database. You are not setting up automation separately because it's part of the same system. You can also build more complex logic using conditions, filters, delays, and steps, depending on how your app needs to behave. Ultimately, you are not just building an app, but running your whole system in one place. Software supports a wide range of integrations, both for data and external tools. The main data sources include Airtable, Google Sheets, Notion, HubSpot, SQL databases, Supabase, and Software own database. You can also connect via API for more flexibility if you are working with custom setups. In practice, it means that you can plug in Software into almost any system you use with real-time data science. Furthermore, it supports integrations for payment, automation, and analytics. This includes tools like Zapier, Make, Stripe, Google Analytics, and other third-party services. Software has a free plan and 4 paid plans. The free plan includes 10 app users, 5,000 database records, 500 workflow actions, along with 5 AI credits. Also, you can publish unlimited apps in your workspace. It's suitable for testing or small internal use and comes with clear limitations. The basic plan at $49 per month includes 20 users, 50,000 database records, and 2,500 workflow actions. It also adds 10 AI credits, custom domains, and removes most of the basic limitations from the free plan, but it's still relatively limited in terms of scale. The professional plan at $139 per month includes 100 users, 500,000 database records, and 10,000 workflow actions, along with 50 AI credits. It also introduces more advanced capabilities like custom user groups and additional features such as API actions, charts, calendars, and more advanced blocks. If you need more users, you can add them at $10 per 10 users per month. The business plan at $269 per month is designed for larger and more complex apps. It includes 500 users, 1 million database records, and 25,000 workflow actions, along with 100 AI credits and unlimited user groups. It also supports more advanced data sources and features like SQL databases, REST API, and expanded permissions. There is also an enterprise plan with custom pricing. It includes everything from the business plan, plus features like SSO, custom usage limits, advanced security, audit logging, and dedicated support. The first time I used Softr AI Builder, I put very little time and effort in it, yet still ended up with something I could actually use and keep working on. And this is exactly what I discovered during my Softr review. It's not just about building an app, but maintaining it, making changes, adding new data or users, and adjusting how things work, all flat manageable on my own, which is where Softr starts to make more sense as a long-term solution. I realized that Softr provides a different experience compared to other vibe coding tools like Replit or Lovable. That said, Softr assembles state-of-art building blocks and uses vibe coding when you need something custom, rather than generating code from scratch. Moreover, something simple just as changing the user interface can take numerous prompts and many hours when using other platforms. Nevertheless, in case of Softr, it was pretty fast and only took 1 or 2 clicks. It really removes the hardest part of app building that slow things down. For example, hosting, role-based access, permissions, and more. I particularly value that the database is not a black box compared to other vibe coding tools. It provides a visual, spreadsheet-style relational database that even a non-technical person can fully own, see, edit, and scale. Finally, it made a good impression on me that it has advanced features for building workflow automation, and you can easily power your apps with multiple data sources. But I also noticed some drawbacks. Stay here, because in the next part of this video I will break down its pros and cons based on what I found during my review. If you are still here and watching, first of all, thank you. Secondly, if you found this video useful so far, please like and subscribe to my channel so I can reach and help more people. Let's start with the pros. First, it's a really fast AI builder. For me, it took 10 or 15 minutes to get the first version of my app. Secondly, it provides a complete system with data, workflows, and users. Furthermore, I appreciated that the user login and access control are ready out of the box, no setup needed. During my Softr review, I discovered that it is an easy-to-use AI builder where you can create real apps just by clicking and configuring, and no developer skills required. Moreover, it reduces the need for external tools and integrations, which means less complexity and fewer things to break. And lastly, it is easy to maintain as you don't have servers or infrastructure to manage, and Software handles it for you. On the drawback, I found that it is limited compared to custom development. That means you are restricted by what the platform allows, especially for complex features. Additionally, it's not ideal for highly custom user interfaces. If you want a really unique and advanced design, you will hit limitations. Softr is an excellent choice for those non-technical teams and people who want to build a real data-driven app that they can actually use and maintain. It works especially well for use cases like client portals, internal tools, and operational systems where you need structured data, user roles, and permissions from the start. If you are looking to build something that your team or clients will actually use, not just test, Softr makes it much easier. It's also a strong option if you want to replace multiple tools and want to manage everything in one place. This way, you don't have to rely on separate solutions for database, automation, and front-end. On the other hand, Softr might not be the best for you if you are looking for a solution that offers full flexibility and highly customizable interfaces. If your focus is on building pixel-perfect front-end design, complex custom logic, or fully custom-coded apps, you may find it limiting compared to the traditional development. That was it for today, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about Softr, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you later.